Hi and welcome to show 16 of Hot Button Soul Music Archaeology.
We're going to stop counting soon.
Yeah, we're going to have to. This week again we've got our man Format interviewing John Schroeder with us, a little snippet of that. The rest of that will be online next week sometime, so yeah, so check it out this week. Another cracking little snippet interview. First track we've got is Like Yesterday by the Monophonics. It is on Coal Mine Records. If you've not bought anything on Coal Mine, check it out. Terry does a great job over there bringing out some quality stuff. And the Monophonics, the reason we're playing them is because they're coming to Europe this autumn. Check them out as well. Fantastic band.
Yeah, we'll be there.
Yeah. So here's Like Yesterday. A little snippet.
Now I know, baby, this for sure. You don't stole my heart, just like that. You're not the door, we go home like yesterday. It's just like that.
Yeah.
Amazing tune. Yeah. And it's so hard, I think, for a lot of these new funk bands out there today to actually sound authentic. But
took the words out of my mouth, mate.
Coal Mine Records does it, you know.
It's that little studio he's got.
That's it.
Cool.
Anyway, we have to rush through the records as ever because we've got the Schroeder interview to compact in the middle here. Oh, you lucky people. Anyway, so coming up next, we're going to go with a bit of John Schroeder.
Yeah.
And here he is with the Astronova Orchestra. Classic UK funk from the man that we interviewed the other week. Yeah, quite difficult to turn up, this one. It was released on his Alaska label. I think it was about 1975. But this we got on his Disco Nights album. Whether John actually had anything to do with this, we don't know, because it does actually have Simonde on it, Astronova Orchestra, another Simonde track, so quite a few things from the Alaska label. So
yeah. Anyway,
well done.
This brings us nicely into the second snippet, you lucky things, of the John Schroeder interview featuring Mr. DJ Format.
Yes.
I just want to go through some of my favourite records that you made. This first one, if I can just hold that up to the camera,
so there we go.
Working in the Soul Mine.
Oh, look at
I believe that was the first album under the moniker of the John Schroeder Orchestra. Is that correct? 1966.
Yes, Working in the Soul Mine.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's the first pressing.
Brings back some.
What about the ladies on the front? Did that bring back any memories?
Did you get to meet them?
Handpicked.
No, the photographer banned me from the session.
I'm just going to pop the needle on the record in the background as well, so that the people at home can enjoy
this
it.
is a much treasured record in my collection and a lot of other people's collections too, because Alan Tew is a fantastic arranger.
Yeah, absolutely.
And Alan and I did a lot of things together, and we wrote one or two of these things together. He wrote Soul for Sale, and which is a lovely track, and I don't know, it brought back so many people together making this, because they were all session musicians.
Yeah.
But it was an idea. I was very much into soul music in those days. Gino Washington.
Yeah, I will come on to him.
And Working in the Soul Mine particularly brings back memories for me with Berry Gordy.
Yeah.
You know, whom I wined and dined to the talk of the town, consummated the distribution rights for Oriole for the Tamara's Motown label.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there's some of these stuff on here in the material that I've used. You've Lost That Loving Feeling, I mean, incredible record. So I thought, well, how about putting an instrumental album together under the name of John Schroeder, but using just the hooks of these songs.
Right,
all these songs have got tremendously catchy hooks.
Yeah.
We'll leave out all the rest of the stuff. I was going to say garbage, but just use the dynamic riffs that were in these songs and retain them vocally. And I can't remember who the vocal group were, but they were obviously session girls and guys I did use, of which Alan Tew put together, And so it was a different concept. And it was, I think it was dare I say, the first time this concept had been done.
Yeah.
Of using just vocals with the hooks of some of these soul hits.
Yeah.
And it's because they were so hooky that we managed to do it, you know.
And do you happen to remember which sort of session musicians? I know you've got an incredible memory for detail. Do you remember which session players played on this particular album? Because the drums especially are what sort of stands out on this version of Get Out My Life Woman. Do you remember who that was on the drums?
Well, I'd guess I would have been Kenny Clare or Clem Catini.
Okay.
Clem Catini is a name that you would know.
Absolutely, yeah. Well, and Kenny Clare. Yeah. To be honest, we're music nerds. We're probably going to know most of these names.
I use Kenny Clare a lot. And I use Clem Catini a lot because, but there are a lot of others too that I use, but those two stand out in front, I suppose.
Yeah.
But, I don't know, there were so many good session guys. I would think that Jimmy Page was on here.
Really?
I mean, there are old people like that on it, John Paul Jones.
Right.
Jim Sullivan.
Big Jim Sullivan.
Yeah, Big Jim Sullivan. I use the creme de la creme of session musicians with my musical concept. So any John Schroeder album, Sounds Orchestra album, City of Westminster String Band album, you'll get the creme de la creme of British session musicians on it.
That kind of leads us on to this next album that I'd like to talk about.
Okay,
Do you want to pass that through, Brad? The Dollycatcher.
Oh, that's another album that appears in all sorts of pages. The cover.
Yeah.
Amazing
the
cover.
whole concept.
It is a great cover.
Now, what can I say about that? Well, without blowing my own trumpet, Dollycatcher was sort of my way of life. I like the world of Dollycatcher. And if there's one way of Dollycatching, it was through the medium of music. I discovered, as you guys must know as well.
No, I don't know about that. It's not the 60s.
Well, everything about music to me is about Dollycatching. I make music, Saxon violins. The book is about Dollycatching. It's all about making music to catch dollies by. That's what the biggest vocation.
I'm probably more successful with making music than actually catching dollies, I'm afraid.
You're making music, but you're making music for who? You're making music for your listeners to get up and dance, to get up and get together, to be romantic to listen to in the car to. It's just behind it. It's a romance. It sounds orchestral. It's music behind the romance. People were doing all sorts of things with Sounds Orchestral, believe me. They did say, by the way,
the baby boom went up.
Cast your face with him doing that, the baby boom went up, my man.
We were probably all conceived to Sounds Orchestral. Sounds Orchestral.
My mum did give me a knowing look when I said I was interviewing you tonight.
This album, Dollycatcher, was based on a tune called the Dollycatcher, and tracks like To Wendy with Lodge, which I actually wrote, and She'd Rather Be With Me, Softly, Softly, Catchy Dolly, I Was Made to Love Her, I mean, they were all titles that made up this sort of mood of Dollycatcher. And I think that the cover was quite brilliant by Pye's art department. I didn't conjure this up, but they did, and I thought they captured the right sort of scenario.
I was just going to drop the needle on my favourite song from this album, which is Explosive Corrosive Joseph, which
oh my god,
I noticed that this was written by John Cameron.
It was.
So that was probably just after the time that he'd worked with Donovan on his first two albums, I presume. So was he kind of a hot property at that point?
You know that Explosive Corrosive Joseph was used in
Ocean's 12 was it? Yeah.
12, was
no, not the big one, but the one that followed it.
Ocean's 12 or 13. Was
it
David Holmes, was it?
It wasn't such a good movie, I didn't think.
No,
to be honest, I haven't seen any of them.
I've seen it, and I noticed it straight away.
Well done you. That was in it.
I was about to ask you actually, did you know? Obviously,
I did know.
There's a lot about it.
I knew, and I was very pleased that it was in it. But I've also noticed the sleeve note on this album was written by Peter Jones, the Record Mirror.
Right.
He wrote for the Record Mirror and always did fantastic write-ups on my stuff and so on, and supported Tamla Motown too. He was the only guy in the music industry press that supported the Tamla Motown releases on Oriole was Peter Jones.
Ah,
fab guy.
yeah.
And so he did the review on the back, or the copy on the back of this, so
Yeah.
that's really interesting to know.
Yeah.
I'm glad you said Exposure Corrosion Journey. It's not one of my favourite tracks, I'm afraid.
Is it not?
I
God.
quite like the sort of psychedelicness of it.
Yeah,
Well, there
yeah.
you are, you like the psychedelics. I wasn't really, not into really psychedelic music to that extent, yeah.
Welcome back. That was John Schroeder, another snippet, yeah, from the great man. And in homage to him, really, we thought we'd play a cover version of one of his most famous tracks. This by some very respected sort of jazz musicians. So hopefully, Mr. Schroeder will appreciate this one. Yeah, and this one is by Blue Mitchell, and it's on the Last Tango Equals Blues album on Mainstream. This is the US pressing. I think there is a UK pressing as well. And although not as good as the Simone Day version, it's certainly pretty damn good, I have to say. I mean, you've got Blue Mitchell, David T. Walker, Charles Kynard, Chuck Rainey, Paul Humphrey, King Harrison, you know what I mean? All on here doing their, you know, homage to John Schroeder and Simone Day.
Yeah. And like us, if you like to find alternative versions of tunes that are different enough to be interesting, yeah, this is a great one.
Yeah, yeah, nice. Yeah,
Yeah.
nice.
Well,
Anywho, moving on.
moving on to break of the week. I believe we have Tough Cut to thank for this break of the week.
Yeah, we do.
Tough Cut was busy selling his old trainers and his old pants the other week at a boot sale.
A boot sale,
bumped
and
into Chris and
he did.
pointed out a record. Said there's a little Indian record over there. And it wasn't. It was a little Israeli record. So Chris picked it up and had a little listen to it, and lo and behold, it had a cracking break on it. So,
It did. So I have to say,
cheers, Ollie.
thanks, Ollie. Cheers, Mr. Tough Cut, for pointing me in the right direction for this. It sounds like the Incredible Bongo Band went to Israel and dropped acid,
Yeah.
and
Had a summer on a kibbutz.
yeah, this is the Incredible Bongo Band at a kibbutz. Yeah.
That's what it looks like.
Yep.
Clearly Hebrew.
Yeah. I looked into it a little bit, and I think it did get a US release. I'm not too sure if it's exactly the same cut, but this is the Israeli, as you can hear. Yeah, we should give a shout out to Loz for this one.
There's no hot button.
Anyway, yeah, I think the Incredible Bongo Band got a bit tired and went off for their lunch. So anyway, so that leads us on to our theme of the week.
Yeah. Now here at Hot Butter Soul, we also music archaeology. We also love our movies, love them. And if you watch the shows properly, you'd see there's a little movie reference in each one. This movie I'd never heard of, so we had a little listen to it. Great track on it. There's a couple of great tracks on there.
There's a couple of good tracks on this. I got this at a car boot sale on Saturday morning, and just purely because it was a soundtrack and it was from the 70s, so it was the right sort of era. But yeah, Joyride, and even though it's got the Electric Light Orchestra on it, Dad Rock, there is one sort of funky wah-wah chase theme, so here we go with our theme of the week.
There's a couple of naked guys in a jacuzzi on the back as well, so
It's obviously Brad's record, not mine.
yeah, I think Format left it. Thank you for tuning in. As I say, next week hopefully we'll get that full interview up. It'll be on Format's website.
Yeah.
We'll have a link to it via all of our stuff. So yeah, look forward to it. Got to see it. Amazing. you
Yeah,
know?
totally.
Yeah.
And more interviews coming up, of course. So you know, we're going to be pretty busy over these next few months, getting to the people that need talking to, really. You know, so yeah, well, keep watching.
See ya.